But I found out a wonderful thing too is publishers will correct your spelling. No, I don't know how I got that, because I had wonderful English teachers, and I hate to soil their memory with the fact that the one teacher gave me a D in creative writing when I was writing The Outsiders. But man, that makes a good news story. Yes. I included the Robert Frost poem because I was so free to write The Outsiders. I wasn't thinking about getting it published. I was making it up as I was going along. I actually, in that class, I was talking about I was wandering around the room picking up periodicals instead of probably working on what I should have been working on. But I read that Robert Frost poem, and I thought, this is what I'm trying to say in my book. I'll go home and stick this in the book. Now, this is not what you're going to get in kind of structure a novel, but I mean, I would do things like go to school and be stuck. Like I said, the plot's hard for me. I'd say, well, I'm writing a book, and this is what's happened so far, and what should happen next? And somebody said, well, make the church burn down. And I would, great, yes, I'll go home and make the church burn down. So that's what I did. It's you just take it as it comes along. I had another weird experience when I was writing Hawk's Harbor, my adult vampire book. But I had been, I got really stuck in a place, and I thought, oh, am I supposed to go ahead and finish this? It's so different from anything else I'd written. And I was having a blast writing it, but I just got stuck. And one of the characters is this Irish con man and they were smuggling guns to Ireland from Boston. And I had this dream, and Kel was on the ship, and I was on the ship. I don't know if I was the narrator kid or if I was me or who, but I was on the ship. And I thought, oh God, I forgot to add how noisy these things are. So there's all this creaking and the coffee kept sliding and stuff. And then Kel told this story that was really funny, and I woke myself up laughing. And I thought, hey, I'll go put that in the book. And I keep saying Kel's a great storyteller, but I haven't had him tell a story yet. So maybe wrote that in. I mean, to me, just take it where you can get it, and don't, I've done books with outlines, and I've done books without outlines. But I always know my ending. The beginning's really easy because you set up the character and the situation. And I can always write the last sentence first if I want to, but I always save it for the end because it's so much fun. But the muddle in the middle is what I have trouble with. So I will take ideas that they fit into where I'm about going anytime. And I'll say this, bad writers imitate good writers' skill. Yes? Francis Coppola and I wrote the screenplay for The Outsiders, although we did not get credit for it. Somebody got credit for it that did not write a word of it. And we wrote Rumblefish. And Tim Hunter used so much of the book, and he stayed so faithful to it. I mean, that I was extremely comfortable with it. I didn't, I had a great time on my movies. I was heavily involved in 3 of them, Tex, The Outsiders, and Rumblefish. And I know, as well as any other author, that if you sign your rights over, you'll see what they've done to your book when you buy a ticket to go to the movies. But in both cases, I was involved with directors who really, liked me. They wanted me on the set. I got to do everything with Tex. I was scouting locations. I gave Matt Dillon writing lessons. My horse plays the horse. I played a teacher. I was on the set all the time. It was an absolute blast. My agent goes, don't ever expect that to happen again, Susie. That's rare, blah, blah, blah. And Tim Hunter's still one of my best friends today. And next thing I know, Coppola came to town and said, do you want to scout locations and show me what you're thinking? I said, sure, I can do that, I can do that. And they said, do you want to help me write it? And I'm going, okay. So here I was heavily involved again. I did the locations, I helped with wardrobe. Francis it was really interesting to see how he did it. He took a paperback and he outlined the action in one color, dialogue in one color, introspection in another color, and cut them all up and kind of pasted it roughly into a screenplay form. Had that typed up, handed it to me and said, you want to cut it for me, Susie? And I said, sure. I said, I got to warn you, I'm ruthless about cutting. And he said, that's fine. So I go through there, and of course, as an adult, I could see a lot of things wrong with The Outsiders, and I have here's my chance to fix it. So I'd go through it, and Francis would read it. He was fine with my cuts, because I am good at cuts, but he couldn't really didn't want me to, he'd say, no, this is just like it is in the book. And I said, no, Francis, it's better. You know, and he goes, no, we're doing this for the kids that, you know, love the book. So you just go back, say it like it says it in the book. So that's my big problem working with Francis. Both of us, he wanted to make it just like the book. I have to say this, one thing I didn't expect was how many really great, you bond on a movie crew and a movie set. And, you know, I knew when everybody left it would be goodbye. But I did make some friends that are close friends that I still have today. And, you know, I didn't expect I'd like them. You know what you think of movie people? You think, you know, gold chains and hairy chests around the pool and little change babe. And I was expecting money-grubbing, sex-crazed drug addicts. And they weren't money-grubbing. Oh, way back in the back. Yes. Oh, yeah. You in the gap. Go ahead, stand up.
Okay. What was your favorite book that you wrote so far?
My favorite book so far, it's like asking to pick your favorite kid, because there's so many aspects of them that you're proud of. The Outsider certainly has done more good in the world than I could ever hope to personally. I mean, worldwide, I get letters from all over the world. It's not only helped people learn to like to read. I get a lot of people saying it changed my life and influenced my life choices. I'm going like, who am I to influence your life choices? I'm nobody. I shouldn't even say this, but it's the message, not the messenger. So I've learned to deal with that. But as far as my best writing goes, my last book of short stories, called Some of Tim's Stories, is the best writing I've ever done. And I'm really, really proud of it. I set myself a 1,000-word limit on these short stories, which is pretty neat. I think because I went all over the place with Hawks Harbor. I mean, I was all over the world, all over, you know, told it. I was just so loose with that. I just wanted to get back into the fun of writing, have fun with it. You know, I use different people's point of view. I just, you know, just all over, you know, just having fun. But then the next one I thought, okay, let's exert a little discipline here. And the guy that's the main character of the stories, 1,000 words a story. And at first I think I'd never be able to cut this to 1,000 words, but I did. And by the time I got through writing it, man, I could hit 995 and not even look at word count. I knew when it was over. But I have to admit, they're the best writing I've done so far. So, but there's things about you really